Yeah, I mean, it's all the spice here in round 8 of Tata Steel. And we have the handshake. The clocks have been pressed. I love this moment. What are we going to see from Praggnanandhaa? What is he going to open with? And, well, he's taking his time over the first move. Don't keep us waiting too long, Prag. We want to see what you've got prepared.
E4.
Let's keep it closed. Nothing. So let's do a quick action replay where knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. Now we're in Lopez territories. Knight f6 says, hey, do you want a Berlin? He says no. And there we see the bishop to c5. We see Gukesh changing the pawn structure. Bishop takes c6, d takes c6. Now it's a kind of interesting game. What you're going to see is that often black will be playing with the bishop pair. That's no doubt about it. But for white, it's all about this pawn structure. What they are dreaming about is kind of actually transferring the game into an endgame where this e pawn has been traded off for the d pawn, and white just has a clear pawn majority on the king side, and you're effectively pawn up because this structure isn't mobile. Now it sounds really simple, but in actual fact that's the essence of this type of position. So what's going to happen is that after the developing moves, knight d2, note that doesn't go to c3 because you want to be doing Lopez style stuff over c3, queen c2, keep the tension on the board. a5, just giving a square for this bishop just to hide out. Knight c4, putting pressure against e5. Knight to d7, more or less forced, and c3, castles. The queen steps up, getting ready to connect the rooks, and here we see b6. And I wouldn't be surprised actually to see a move like bishop to e3 on the board. And the whole idea is that, hey, black has the bishop pair, so why not get rid of that and instead play on the fact that, we have that extra pawn on the king, and is it untouchable there? So it's just a question of waiting in the best way. This knight on d2 can't really move to c4. It has to keep an eye on the b3 point. And I guess the only question would be what happens if Prag tries to play b4.
I'm not going to say c5 is automatic, but you've got to be looking at that, right? If you can break that apart, then there's opportunities for the rook to come in. There's opportunities for c3 to become a little bit of a target. b4 looks quite natural, to be fair. I'm also thinking black has to act quickly so that the a3 pawn doesn't give its life in vain. Then I think...
then we're in a situation where everything is completely full.
Yes.
4 pawns. It's good enough for the draw, let's face it. And Prag has just over 3.5 minutes, so... Oh!
Yes, it is.
And then no more moves played. A draw was in fact offered by Gukesh, accepted by Prag, and we have a peaceful result between our two country mates. And of course, the world champion and Praggnanandhaa, they continue to share the lead.
I really like the idea behind why it turns out it was playable. We spent, or let me backtrack there and say I spent a lot of time thinking that rook b7 didn't work because as soon as you stack the other rook, there are all sorts of really scary variations where the a pawn could just roll down the board and queen.